beautiful people. I am Queen Ro. This is a new episode of Free Your Journey. I thank you guys so much for being a part of the tribe and just embracing the information that I give to you each and every week. This information is new to me too sometimes, guys, because as I state all the time, this is a healing platform. I am showing you guys my transformation from healing. So if you watch my videos from the beginning of when I started it last year to now, you will see a huge transformation in just me in my videos. So I know you guys don't know me personally, but you can get to know me and see all of the trauma and the struggles I have embraced and all of the tools that I have given you guys and seeing the transformation that is before you today. I'm here just to help you heal. You can take the tidbits that I give you and use them. They're free. I'm giving you free information that helped me. That's all it is. I'm just giving you an insight to how I healed on my journey, and I want to share this journey with you, and I would love to be a part of your healing journey as well. So if you guys love these videos, like them, share them to someone who can use this information. Join conversations, because I love talking and debating about things. I love people blowing my mind and giving me new information. So I'm hoping that I'm that person that gives you oh my gosh, I never thought of it like that, or what, I always think like this, but nobody else thinks like this point of view. So thank you guys for being a part of Free Your Journey. If you want to go ahead and get your hoodie or your t-shirts, please remember that you can order them at simplydwrcreations.org, and you would just click on the Free Your Journey tab, and you can order all of the little merchandise that I have for sale. So this episode, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into it. It's called Spiritual Warfare. And if you guys don't know, it is a real thing. We are battling demons and when we go to sleep. So sometimes when you wake up, you feel a little different, or you realize that you had like a real bad dream, but it felt kind of real. It probably was. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and how we are battling fleshly desires, and also how we are having a spiritual warfare battle within our spirit as well. So we're in a spiritual war, and there can only be one with spiritual resources. But we've got to know what these spiritual resources are in order for us to be able to use them. So we have to know what the resources are at our disposal, and we've got to know how to access them and how to use them, right? So the perfect way to access your spiritual gifts, your spiritual resources, and how to use them is prayer. Prayer is crucial for both of them. You can ask God to open your eyes to see the enemy's activity and be aware of any spiritual resources that he has given you to disarm and defeat them. Victory is always available to us. It's something that I am very aware of 3D versus 5D. Like, I'm very aware of that you live in a fleshly body, but you have a spirit and a soul. And I had this really freaky encounter in maybe, I want to say 2019-ish. I don't remember. I want to say 2019-ish. And it's like my world stood still, but I can see in 2 dimensions. Like, I was in my flesh world, but I could see what was going on in my spiritual world. Like, I was literally seeing the enemy's attack against me. And now God provides me the vision, and sometimes I do get to feel the energy of somebody plotting against me. And it's becoming a battle in my everyday life, because it's like, oh, is this person going against me? Is this person for me? Is this person against me? Is this person for me? Is this from the enemy? And I'm always on guard. So I always say in prayer, because I don't know if this person is for me or against me. And that's just real life where I am right now. And it's difficult for me. It's a struggle for me. But because I know God is always going to reveal who my enemies are, I smile, because I don't have to battle them. They go through their own traumas in their own life, and they're going to be defeated by God. So I don't question when people are doing me wrong. I don't question it. I just allow it to play out, because you always see how it plays out in the end game. People who are showing good fruit in your life will produce good fruit. People who are producing bad seeds is going to planting bad seeds is going to produce bad fruit. Take that however you want to. Karma, you reap what you sow. To me, they're hand in hand. If you're putting in good seeds, you're going to get good harvest. And I also feel like if you're putting in bad seeds in your life, you're going to get bad harvest. So it's all about what you're planting. Back to me being in spiritual warfare, because that wasn't even what I was talking about. See how I just be moving into different messages. So our struggle is ultimately against spiritual forces of evil. The battle is spiritual warfare of good versus evil. and spiritual war going on from our hearts of man, in the hearts of man. Forces of evil wants us to turn away from God and wants us to separate from him. So basically you have to stay on guard at all times and remember that there's always going to be something coming up against you. When there's good, there's always bad. You have to stay on the positive side of life. You have to stay on a positive note of life. So we remember when Paul talks about spiritual warfare in Ephesians 6, it is a prayer, is a 6-piece of armor when he's talking about it, and it activates all the rest of the spiritual armor. It says when we refuse to pray, it's like having well, that's not what the Bible says. This is what I have. When we refuse to pray, it's like a refrigerator without plugging it in. Prayer is divinely authorized mechanism of God has given us to tap into his power. Without prayer, we'll be ineffective to spiritual warfare, and with it, we will be victorious. So in Ephesians, Paul does talk about spiritual warfare, and I was going to read it, but I want you guys to actually read it on your own. Ephesians 6 verses 10 through 20, it does break down the armor of God for you there. So in the spiritual armor, it has truth, righteousness, peace, faith, salvation, God's word, and prayer. So the enemy wants us to mess up, which is to fall into sin, to give up, to get discouraged, to live in arrogance, to divide, and to shut up, to quit evangelizing, to quit spreading God's word, to quit spreading God's testimonies, to quit spreading how much he's used you in the past and how much the enemy has used you in the past, and now you're on the level of coming up because you know that you're divinely guided to do the divinely guided things. You're no longer wanting to go hang in the parties and streets and do all these other stuff because it doesn't make you feel good. It makes you feel nervous. It makes you feel on edge. It makes you feel like something is coming up against you. Those are the energies you need to stay away from. If you're realizing that every time you come in contact with somebody and they're bringing you badness, they're bringing you sadness, they're not uplifting you, they're always in trauma, they're always in some type of drama, disconnect from them, because all they're doing is bringing down your vibrations. All they're doing is lowering you, and you're not able to connect to your true self, and you're not able to handle what is going on in your world because you're handling somebody else's energy as well. So you need to protect yourself against all energies that you come against. Even if it's from family and friends, you don't know who they were around and whose energy they're now bringing back to you. So the enemy's goal is to keep us from proclaiming and living out the gospel that sets people free. He wants us to not talk about the truth. So here on Free Your Journey, I am diving deep into my healing, which has brought me back into the Bible. So what I'm doing here is showing how me going through my life journey and realizing that the practices that I'm doing and everything that I'm walking through and everything that I'm coming up to with not even touching the Bible was given to me from God. Because I always had this question to me, like, how do animals operate? You know, they don't read a Bible. They don't have a manual. They don't know. So they have an internal instinct. We have an internal instinct as well. But sometimes you dilute that instinct because you think you know what's best. You're diluting the positive side of things because you don't want to do that. If you're getting this insight and you're getting a car and you're about to go see this young man or this young lady and it's not working for you, and you know that you're not supposed to be kicking it with them, you know that you're not supposed to be around them, things are not going to play out in your favor. Things are not going to work in your favor because you're not operating in your divine willing, in your divine calling, in your divine energy. You're operating against it. You're doing something that's on the outside of the will of God that he has for you because he only has the best for you. We step in the way and choose to go the opposite direction because we have free will. He's not going to say, hey, okay, I don't love you no more. He's always going to love you. He's always going to look at you like, okay, I told this person not to do it. Just like your mama is going to be like, okay, I told you not to stay out after 12 because this is what happens. But you continue to do it anyways. You're going to eventually seek consequences. Because it's like, how many times am I going to tell you to stop doing that? How many times am I going to tell you to stop doing that? How many times am I going to tell you to stop doing that before you realize that this is messing up your life? This is taking you away from where I want you to go. Why are you doing this to yourself? Why do you keep picking up that? Why do you keep going here? Why do you keep people pleasing? Why do you keep allowing people to manipulate you? All of these things come out from you not recognizing who you are, and you allowing yourself to be depleted because you are not continuously praying for answers and solutions. You are diluting what is given to you to help you grow. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the tool, but you blocking out the tool because you like, the tool don't know what's best for me. The tool knows what's best for you. The tool knows because it's guiding you. The tool knows because it's a part of your body. How can you tell your body, your internal compass, that it's going the wrong way when you don't know where you're going? You have no idea where you're going. You just living life. But every day you get a drop in your soul or a drop of energy. Let me go to the bank. Let me open up a bank account. Let me do this. But you still not listening because you like, no, I'm going to do that later. No, I don't have time for that today. And this message is for me. I am talking to myself right now. All of these procrastination things is causing delays in my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how you just going to tell your source, your energy, your God, hey, not right now. I ain't got time for that right now. When he's telling you time is up. I've been told you to do that 3 weeks ago. And now you still wanting this opportunity. Somebody else came and got it. You can't continue to prolong things that you know belong to you. Yes, you will get it. But every time you step away from your divine calling, it's going to be, I was going to say hell. Oh, but I said it anyways. It's going to be hell in your life. You're going to find a hard time getting back to where you started from. It's going to be what? A year, a 2, a 3. It's like you take 3 steps back when you should have just kept going. You second guess yourself. Every time you second guess where you're going to get stuck. Every time you second guess how you got there, you're going to get stuck. Just remember, or just praise, do great things, gratitude. I'm thankful that I'm here now because last week I was somewhere else. Like every day I get up in the morning and I'm thankful that I can breathe because I had COVID for 2 weeks and I couldn't breathe. Like that was the hardest struggle for me. Like breathing was a problem. So I am thankful for the breath that I do have every day. Like I don't want to talk about that. But it's like sometimes you just have to remember that you was just in a downfall last week. You was just broke last week. You was just crying last week. You was just hungry last night. And this morning you don't want to say thank you for the food that you get to eat. You don't want to say thank you for the light that you have to receive from the sun. You don't want to say thank you from the nature, for the fresh air. You don't want to say thank you for the legs that you have to walk. Some of us don't even want to say gratitude. You don't even think gratitude in your life, but you want so much from life. What are you thinking? You don't even think like God for life. You just like, yeah, I'm here. That's what's up. Why are you here? A lot of people be playing like you have a divine mission, but you playing. You know your time could be ripped up in a minute because like I feel like if I feel like this, God feels like this. And I'm not speaking for God, right? God's not speaking through me right now. But it's like, this is me personally speaking to you. If you know that, or if you knew that somebody was up to take your spot at work, you gonna work harder, right? How about you think about that all the time in life? I'm going to do my 100% always because somebody's up to take my spot. Somebody's up to get my spot. Somebody's up to take this position right here if I sleep. If I sleep 1 more hour longer than I'm supposed to, somebody already up doing what I'm supposed to be doing for today. Do you not understand that we're all divinely connected? So if God gives you a message that you're supposed to be doing this song, you don't do that song, yes, sis, somebody else going to do that song. Somebody else going to do that event. Somebody else going to do what you're trying to do because you took too long. God is like, I don't got time for y'all no more. Y'all playing games. Time is up. You don't want to do it. Somebody else going to do it. You don't want to do it. Somebody else is going to do it because he has a mission. He don't have time to be playing with people who come to work and don't do their job. He don't have time to be playing with people who clock in and just sit on their phone all day. What are you learning here? What are you learning in your time on this earth? What are you doing? Because some of us, you're taking advantage of your time. You're taking advantage of your free will. You're taking advantage of it. And you're not understanding that time is up. We are literally in a spiritual warfare battle. People are dying on a daily basis. I have lost so many people in my family within the last year. What are we doing? Like, it's like we don't go to prayer anymore. We're just like, okay, I can't pray because people are still dying. You have to continue to pray. Because when you don't pray, you are limiting you're lowering the windows. You letting all the things in. You letting it all in. What if you're the only person that's praying for your family and they need you because they don't know how to pray? Or maybe the prayer warrior in the family gets tired, which I understand that. I do understand that we all get tired. But you have to strengthen yourself. You have to strengthen your spirit. You have to strengthen yourself to be a warrior because it's not time to put down your weapons. This is the time to stay guarded. if you a fighter in the street or whatever, if you grew up and you fighting, because I don't want to say you're a fighter in the street. If you grew up and you were fighting, you know that's fighting is life for you, bruh. It's the time. Fight now. Fight now. Go get your gun now. Like, that's how y'all mindset need to be. Like, we are literally, when you go to sleep, your body is at rest. But you still in motion. You still wandering around this earth. You still doing earthly duties. You still handling spiritual warfare. Like, you're still battling things in your sleep. I say all the time that I'm like Buffy the Vampire Slayer was like one of my favorite shows when I was younger, along with the other shows that I probably wasn't supposed to be watching. But I see now that literally it's like those are little things that makes me think like, okay, is this what we doing when we sleep? Like, I'm guarded up with my armor on and I'm slaying demons. Like, I'm literally slaying lust. I'm slaying envy. I'm slaying greed. I'm slaying sloth. I'm slaying wrath. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm happy because all that in my sleep was trying to get me, trying to make me think about the time when I felt like I was nothing, because I was always something. When I felt like I wasn't nothing, when I thought I wasn't pretty enough, when I thought I never thought my skin was too dark. Let's take that out of there. But when people try to make me feel like my skin was too dark to do this or to do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. You have to realize that all of that is a weapon of the enemy to play with your mind. You have to stay stronger than that. I'm better than that. I know better than that. Nobody can tell me that I'm something that I am not because I don't agree with it. We are wearing labels that we didn't even give ourselves. You wearing labels that you didn't even give yourself. You are literally calling yourself all these bad names. You are literally calling yourself, okay, yeah, I believe I'm this. I believe I'm that. Because somebody else told me that I'm this. Somebody else told me that I'm that. Who cares? I've been there. But the thing is, I never made myself, like, I never looked in the mirror and was like, girl, you that. People on the outside said it to me. People who I call my friends. People who I was dating. People who I thought was in my circle. That had my back. But they're the ones who calling you out on your flaws. Enemies, weapons, get up, get them all, because you need them. Like, I don't know how much to stress that. Like, it's real. It's really, really real. Charm. Let's use Charm for an example. You see how they had all of these demons that was coming up against them in that show, but they were supposed to be witches. But let's make the example of they weren't witches. They were just normal people like us who were gearing up for spiritual warfare. They had their tool, which was their little book of spells, but we're going to say that our book of spells, well, our equivalent to book of spells would be the gospel, which would be the Bible. They went to that book, they saw what demon they was fighting, they got in their prayer bag, and I'm going to say prayer because they was together saying some words in unison. And they got demons up out of them. They had a whole white lighter, which I want to say that was God, that represented God, that was protecting them. The world is always giving us messages, but are you awake enough to see them and to receive them? Like, oh, this message is doing something to me right now, because this is not anything that I have on my paper, so that means that I'm directly just being guided. See how I just allow God to just guide me into messages, because I'm freely allowing him to move in my life, because I've tried it without him. I've tried it without guidance. I've tried it without listening to something else. Well, listening to myself, because he lives within you. We always second guessing ourselves. We have more things to do now in this time than we ever have. And God's trying to get his army equipped. Trying to get the best soldiers on the front line. You know, trying to get us ready for war. But y'all ain't ready. We gonna lose the battle. We gonna lose because y'all ain't ready. The family is gonna flame up because y'all ain't ready. Where your gun at? Do you know how to shoot? Where your sword? Do you know how to slay? Where your boots at? Where your helmet at? Where your breastplate at? You don't got no protection. You can't, I don't know what side to put you on. I just got to put you in the back. Because you can't do nothing. You holding the team back. You don't got enough power. You don't got enough strength. You fearful. You afraid. You scary. And we don't need no scary people on the squad. Like, I don't fight in real life. Like, I do not fight. I don't feel like you should touch people. That's beneath me. That's not queen things. That's not what I do. But in this spiritual realm, I'm fighting. I'm fighting for mine. I'm fighting what belongs to me. I'm gonna fight. Why not? Like, I have all the tools that I need, and I'm gonna use them faithfully because I'm not afraid of anything. There is nothing thing that fears me, that makes me afraid. There is nothing. Like, I've been in some situations that I would just, like, I feel like, okay, spiritual gangster moment. It has to be a spiritual gangster moment because she ain't this tough. But there's something that that resides inside me. There's something that resides inside of me that makes me so strong, that makes me so powerful, that makes me so amazing, that gives me this glorious power, that helps me fight all my battles, that I don't question. That I just tap into more. I just water it more. I give myself more of it. I feed myself daily bread. I drink the water. I soak myself in the word. I soak myself in the being of who I am. I know who the Creator called me to be. I know my purpose. I know my gains. I know my wills. I know what I should not do that's going to stop me from being successful. I know what I should not do that's going to stop me from progressing. I know what I should not do that's going to stop me from elevating. I have learned that on my healing journey, and I'm so happy that I get to share these moments with you because it's a transformation that I never thought I would see. This is shocking to me. Every day I wake up like, who is this person? Every day I wake up a different being. Every night I go to sleep asking for a new revelation for who I am. What part of me should I be working on this year? What part of me should I be working on right now, today? How should I interact with this person? How can I be a better friend? How can I be a better lover? How can I be a better woman? How can I be a better communicator? How can I be a better sister? How can I be a better daughter? These are all titles that I have that sometimes I fall short on, that I'm not afraid to say, but I still go to my prayer bag and I still ask God for answers. So all I'm asking you guys to do right now today is just remember, God is giving you the tools to fight the spiritual demons, to fight in this battle. He wants us to be freed from things that are holding us back, free from your own sins, free from your own things that are stopping you. You are more than what you think right now. Yes, your rent might need to be paid and it's late. Yes, your car note might need to be paid. Yes, your mama might be struggling. But it's going to be okay because you guys know that it's not always going to be a hard time. It's not always going to be a hard time. When you get up and you realize, hey, maybe I need to budget. Maybe I need